How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about a scenario that happened to me to see how you would have handled it as a content creator / freelancer. So let's jump right into it. If you're wanting to be a freelancer, or if you are a freelancer, I want to talk about a scenario that happened to me to see how you would have handled it. And that way you also get some real experience into, well, dealing with customers if you are not there yet. I want to talk about a little bit of the details, what happened and how I handled the situation, but I also want to talk about what I wish I could have done more and what I will do for the next time to make sure that doesn't happen to me. And that way I can see your thoughts on it if you want to leave a comment down below. So the scenario is that I got hired by my brother-in-law's friends for a portrait shoot that they wanted me to come and do for their, little event that they were doing. We had agreed upon a time, date, pricing, everything, and we confirmed it via text messages. When it came down to it, they confirmed and gave me the location, all the information, invitation stuff of when it was going to happen. And I told them that I require a 50% non-refundable deposit, just like how we have done before, because they're a repeat customer and they know that. So how it went, I was just waiting for them to send that 50% non-refundable deposit. And I kept waiting, and I actually texted them to make sure that we were confirming, because the shoot was happening in about a week. And since they didn't really give me much time as well to, plan accordingly and everything, I was just banking on that it was going to happen since they were a repeat customer, and I was just making sure that everything was going right, and they had confirmed once again. But all of a sudden, a day before the shoot, they send me a text message saying like, hey, sorry for last minute texting, but one friend of the family is going to be doing the shoot for us, so sorry for the late minute cancellation. Now we went a little bit back and forth, and I kind of let them know like, hey, you know what, I totally understand if you find somebody else, but we did agree upon a 50% non-refundable deposit that I was still waiting on and that you had agreed upon and confirmed, because I went ahead and started reserving that spot for you since it was short notice, and I wanted to ensure that I had the time and availability for your shoot. They went ahead and started kind of playing the friends card, saying like, hey, since we're friends, we thought you'd be okay with the situation, and we just didn't think much of it. So I mean, it's just this one time, we're a repeat customer. So I went ahead and reminded them that I totally understand the situation, but we did agree upon a 50% non-refundable deposit because I was booking that time slot for them, and that out of respect and out of the friendship, if that's what they want to claim with, that they should honor that still, because well, that's what we'd agree upon, and we have evidence of confirmed on their end as well. And finally, we just kind of discussed a little bit more. They kind of try to tell me like, hey, well, your prices rose from last time that we did a photo shoot. And I told them, of course, my prices, went up because my skills went up, my knowledge and experience went up. And obviously expenses have gone up when it comes down to everything in society. So I told them that I have to cover certain expenses as well, especially because the drive to the photo shoot was over an hour away from my house. So I kind of wanted to ensure that everything was taken care of from the business standpoint, because, well, at the end of the day, I am a business. And once again, they had agreed upon my pricing. So if they had a problem with it, they could have easily just said, hey, no, it's not in our budget. We can't afford that. We're going to try to find an alternative, but thank you so much for letting us know the quote of how much it would be. So that's when it kind of got a little bit frustrating talking with them about it. And, they try to say that, and I reminded them, it's just like the same way that if you or your husband or whomever is working, you would want every year, raise, because you have to combat inflation, expenses, and everything in life, and you want to grow in your career. So they didn't really take that kindly. They kind of, I guess, got offended from it because I wanted to be paid for my time and effort when we have confirmed. Obviously, one of the things that I should have done more and really kind of gone for, but after kind of thinking about it, I don't think it would have mattered anyway, was sending a contract no matter what. Usually I try to do contracts when it comes down to any types of shoots that I do, but since they were a repeat customer, friends of my brother-in-law and everything like that, I kind of just was like, okay, this confirmation via text message is going to be good. They usually send the deposit, so should have been fine. But in my end, I probably should have just sent it, and if they would have signed it, I would have had more legal grounds, if you will, for small court claims or whatever, which I still have enough legal grounds for it. But is it going to be worth my time and effort for the deposit? Maybe, maybe not. Still haven't decided. So it comes down to kind of bringing it down to this. What would you do in this scenario if you had somebody that had hired you for a shoot, confirmed it via text message because, well, That's still a basically legally binding contract that you're doing with them, since they're confirming everything, as well as, them canceling on you last minute and not sending the deposit when they should have done it. Would you pursue going for the deposit? Would you, just let it be, learn from that lesson and move on to the next one? Or maybe perhaps, try to still work it out and see if there was a way to work on the budget with them to make the shoot happen, to see if that would make it work better for them for, actually not missing on the job. For me personally, I just don't think it's worth negotiating with those kinds of people, because at the end of the day, they didn't respect me as a person, me as a business, me as a friend, according to them, that I just personally wouldn't take less money anyway, since I was already working within a budget that I thought was fair, because it was still relatively close to what we did last time, despite of it being like over a year of working with them for their, photo shoot that I did with them. So for me, I don't see it that it's worth me keeping a client like that, because it's more of a headache than actually a repeat customer that's going to be bringing way more, money into my business. At the end of the day, having friends when it comes down to everything is great, but still respect for somebody in their business is a respect that's really much needed, because I personally wouldn't go to their business and expect things for free or cheap, or just, try to like screw them over of their time or anything like that. So personally, that's something that I just think I would have done, but essentially that's kind of like what I'm doing right now with the situation. I just kind of let them know that, hey, you know what, I expect to be paid still for the deposit. You're welcome to send it. Wish you good luck with the shoot. Wish you good luck with whomever's taking the photos for y'all, and I hope you have a good time with it. But hopefully out of, respect of me and the business and everything that I've done for you guys as well, and the contract agreement that we had, you're going to honor what you're supposed to honor, and left it at that. Haven't heard obviously from them to pay me out. Highly doubt it. Don't really think I really want to pursue doing the small court claims. I mean, might look into it just to see if it's worth it or not. How much would I really time I'm going to be involving into it, that it's worth my time or not. But it's just a little bit of a situation that is just frustrating, because you have people that obviously want to belittle a lot of the photographers and videographers, acting like it's nothing, no work, nothing special. They're just like, you're just pressing a button, but then they expect the most out of the little bit of money they want to pay you. And obviously in this scenario, just having that cancellation does affect your bookings. Like for me, it affects income and affects everything like that. So not being able to really find a new client job last minute is a big issue for me, because, well, it's like a day before the shoot. I'm not going to be able to just, find something randomly like that to just book it into it, since I just made that time specifically for them. But going forward, I do want to make sure that I create more of a contract base of everything, just to ensure that everything is going forward. I'm not going to, book anything unless it's the 50% non-refundable, money comes through, and then it'll go into my calendar. I actually even made a different type of, template for contracts when it came down to the, doing it through ChatGPT, because at this day and age, you really don't need to use a lawyer for that. As long as you put everything that you want to, it'll have all the information that you need. It's not really a crazy contract binding that you need too many pages of, because you're not doing licensings for the photos. You're not doing a lot of other stuff that it just doesn't make sense that you have to go that far. So if you're interested in that template, just let me know. I actually, just made it for myself, and I think I'm going to be using it a lot more. And if you're interested with it, let me know, and I'll make it available for you guys for free, because I don't think it's, I can help you guys out that way if you want to get into having a nice little template when it comes down to a contract for your photo shoots, so that this scenario does not happen to you. But yeah, go ahead, leave me your comments down below, your thoughts of what you have done. What would you have, tried to avoid, or what have you done to avoid situations like that, to see if it'll help me out, help anybody else out that's trying to figure out, how to deal with those scenarios. Because there's a reason why I don't take as many portrait shoots as much, because most of the time it's lower end clients that want to pay the least amount of money but expect the most result. And I prefer dealing with other types of client that it just makes sense for me to get a little bit more payout for, the value of my work, and it just makes sense. But let me know your thoughts. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.